Welcome back to Balderdash Academy and our visiting professor, Casey Pratt. Stay tuned, because we're about to hear from Randy's pop quiz and play fan favorite Technically Correct.
Let's go.
But first...
Balderdash Academy, competitive comedy. Good for your health like a yearly colonoscopy. Bring a flask, don't forget your hall pass. If you need a laugh, let me introduce the school staff. Marie Stewart Harmon teaches home economics. See her after class for some home brewed tonics. Sex with me is like Nate Green, cause finishing on top is his normal routine. Coach Steve brings the show sports knowledge, but he's bad at portmanteaus cause he didn't go to college. Paulie McGill spits words like an Uzi. She wins every game but can't name a single movie. They call him Randy Hunt, the theater guru. He'll always almost win like deja vu do. Carla Rose Dubois, you better watch your back. She's notoriously known for teaching music facts. And Bob LeBlanc gets no disrespect. Don't talk back, cause he's technically correct. Yes, let's go. Balderdash Academy, baby. Alright, sit down, class is starting.
Balderdash Academy.
Go. Final round. Our points are, we have a tie for second place with Molly and Steve, and a tie for first place between Nate and Randy. Who will win? Will Nate win again? Statistically, probably. Will
yeah.
Randy win? Randy's
Wait
never
a minute.
won before. This might be his time. Will Molly win? See what I said about Nate?
Probably.
And Steve won twice. So it could happen.
It's anybody's game, baby. Anybody's
Right now,
game.
It's literally anybody's game. Technically Correct has a chance to really shake things up. Before we
Not for
get
me.
there, Casey, it's time for another Balderdash randomizers, 30 seconds or less.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So,
I
our
have faith in you.
next and last 30 seconds or less question is... Question number 5. If you could turn any property into a film or a play,
Ooh.
what would it be? Any at all.
Any property like the White
Any
House?
IP,
Is that like-
any story, any history,
Oh,
anything.
okay. I see,
What would you turn into a play
Any
or a movie?
ooh. Probably Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh.
Into
Okay.
a play.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I would just love to walk into a theater and hear Nerf Herder slamming on that theme song, right?
Yeah.
So
Isn't it
Buffy
already
was
a
also
musical?
a member of the Stick of the Month Club.
They do have a musical episode that could translate pretty well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
once more with feeling.
Yes.
So, Casey, during
That's
the
such a
break,
good
you were
idea.
talking about the interaction of the actual descendants of the victims of the crime in the movie.
Mhm.
So, if you could touch base back on what we were talking about the grandson of the main character in the movie is actually in the film.
He is, yes. He's a background member. And he was there for a few days filming. Yeah, and he just was lovely to talk with, and just a lovely human being. And being around him was just kind of spiritual almost, just knowing the history and being enveloped in the story. It was nice to be part of seeing that person in person, really.
How old is he now?
I don't know exactly how old, but he's oldish, yeah.
Older
An
gentleman.
older gentleman, yes.
There we
His
go.
grandmother's lived in the 20s.
Yes.
So, right?
Yes.
And you said members of the tribe were involved with the process of the filmmaking throughout the entire film, right?
That's correct. Yes, we had I don't remember her title, but we had a woman who came in and was there every day on set, just making sure all of the dress was correct and all of the things that were directed to the cast were accurate. Oh, I wouldn't be doing this here because that's not part of the tribal tradition or things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The set photos are online. Promotional stills have been released. And the film itself should be released in theaters and on Apple TV Plus soon. The date hasn't been announced yet. Casey, when you were filling out your the questionnaire that we send all of our visiting professors, you mentioned about a special day while you were traveling. and a checkbook. So
Yes, I did.
you have a brilliant sense of direction. What happened that we ended up paying tolls with a check?
So this was when I was in college in Maine. I had carried zero cash on me, didn't have a debit card, didn't do this, didn't that. I got lost, and I was actually going to one of my professor's house for like a dinner party or something. I can't remember. I got lost. I went through the toll, and I didn't have any money. And I was like, can I just go through? I just, I'm so sorry. It's 50 cents. I don't have any cash. And she was like, no, but we take checks. I said, okay. So I wrote the Maine Turnpike Authority a check for 50 cents. But then because I was lost, I had to turn right around and go back through the toll the other way. And I wrote another check for 50 cents to the Maine Turnpike Authority. It was a special day.
Steve, that's a piece of paper that you write that's connected to your bank account.
Yeah.
So this is well before. Now we have a pay-by-plate system in the state of Maine.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've all been there. Prior to
We've
that,
all been there.
Yeah.
Prior to that, the system used to work where you got a ticket and then you had to pay when you got off. And if you lost that ticket, you were paying the full amount. Mm-hmm. So I like the story because I too have paid a toll with a check for a one exit trip that cost me about $2.50. So so it is now time for our Professor of Theater Arts to deliver his quiz. But first, his theme song.
Hey! Freeze, mother stinkers!
Oh. And here we have it, our Professor of Theater Arts, Randy Hunt. Randy, what do you have for us?
Freeze, you mother stinkers! That's funny. Hello, faculty. It's so nice to be back. It's been a while since I have joined you, and this is the first time I've joined you as the professor of performing arts, of theater arts, and I have something very special theater related for you in honor of our guest professor. So we all know that William Shakespeare was a master of words. His plays, his sonnets, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. There was also, he had a way with words when it came to insults, right? So nobody insulted anybody else better than Shakespeare did with his words. And just for a few examples here, we've got thou sodden-witted lord, thou has no more brain than I have in mine elbows.
Snap.
If you spend word for word with me, I shall make your wit bankrupt. And out of my sight, thou dost infect my eyes. So I am calling this segment Complete the Shakespearian Insult. So I have picked a few of Shakespeare's insults that I'm going to present you with, and I would like to have you complete each one of these in the style of Shakespeare, but using your own words. It only has to be a few words. It's not a big speech. Don't worry. For the most part, I've left off a word or two. As always, we're not looking for the correct answer. We're looking for the best answer.
Thank God.
So just keep that in mind, all right? So as another example, if I said, thou rankest compound of villainous smell that blank, you might say, maketh grown men cry like babies, or is not unlike a putrid pile of rubbish. You get the idea.
Oh, both of those are good.
The actual wording is ever offended nostril. The rankest compound of villainous smell that ever offended nostril. So, your first one is, there's no more faith in thee than in blank. Molly, deer in the headlights, you're going first.
There's no more faith in thee than doth wanteth credit from thy bank.
Okay. Love it.
Well done.
Nate.
Who? Me?
Yes, Nate.
Oh, okay, me. All right. So there's no more faith in thee than that who doth the dirty undergarments of Rubius Hagrid.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Than those
You can't.
who doth the dirty undergarments of Rubius Hagrid.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Great. Steve.
Okay, there's no more faith in thee than in a salty cadaver.
Oh.
Okay. And Bob, do you have an answer here?
I do. This is from my favorite Shakespeare play, The Gigolo. When he says, "There is no more faith in thee than in my scrotal discharge, you fetid knave." Of course.
Wow.
I had that on a t-shirt in high school.
Okay.
And you will
Wait,
again
redo.
soon, Bob.
Redo. There's no faith in thee than George Michael singeth in thy 80s.
Which 80s?
Sorry. I can't do this.
Okay. I'm going to endeavor to recap here. This is the part that I didn't think through. So Molly said something along the lines of, there's no more faith in thee than in thou doth wanted credit from thy bank.
Yeah.
Nate said that who doth the dirty of Rubius Hagrid, or something close to that. Steve said a salty cadaver, and our headmaster said the scrotal discharge, you fetid knave. Casey, how would you like to score this round?
Why is this cadaver so salty?
He was a sailor.
Yeah, burial at sea, exactly.
Okay, all right. 500 points to Steve for the salty cadaver.
Great.
All right.
Perfect.
All right. The correct, the actual wording is, there's no more faith in thee than in a stewed prune.
Of course.
Oh, it's like a
No.
salty
Which is very
cadaver.
close to what I said.
So,
Yeah, scrotal discharge.
That actually is pretty funny, Bob. Great.
Anything.
Your next one is,
Oh, there's
and
more?
thou
Oh, no.
unfit for any place but blank. And we're going to start with Nate.
And
again?
thou unfit for any place but Triscuit cracker pockets. I didn't make it up. That's what it is.
Perfect. Triscuit cracker pockets. Steve.
And thou unfit for any place but thy mother's wine cellar.
Okay. Bob.
And thou unfit for any place but middle management.
And Molly.
and thou unfit for any place but in thy locked casket buried 6 feet undereth.
Under if.
If.
Okay. So our recap here is, and thou unfit for any place but blank. Nate said Triscuit cracker pockets. Steve said thy mother's wine cellar. Bob said but middle management, and Molly has in their locked casket buried 6 feet under it.
If.
Casey, how would you like to score that?
This is tough. This one's really tough. I think I have to go 500 for the wine cellar as well. I'm like big in the, not so much an insult, but I like that. That's a
Nice.
good place
For
to be.
500 points for Steve.
Depends what kind of wine, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to
Being
think of the equivalent of, you live in your mom's basement. I
Yeah.
thought that was the closest thing I could get.
I mean, again, you're not maybe that far off. And thou unfit for any place but hell.
Oh,
Ah.
okay.
I can think of worse place to be than a wine cellar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once again, mine was actually the closest.
Probably.
All right, your next one is, and in his brain, which is as dry as blank. Steve, what do you got?
And in his brain, which is as dry as Bob's scrotum.
Ew, what?
As
This
a call,
sounds
sorry, it was just a callback to earlier, and I didn't have anything. So,
All right, well, Bob, you get to follow up with that one. What do you got?
Please forgive me now. And in his brain, which is as dry as a nun's happy place.
Okay,
Wow.
Molly.
Well, I'm gonna, okay. And in his brain, which is as dry as malt whiskey evaporated byeth the sun.
Okay, excellent. Who doesn't
all about
love
the
malt
hand.
whiskey that's been evaporated? And Nate, what do you got?
And in his brain, which is as dry as thy mother's wine cellar.
Oh no!
Call back.
All right, so we have Steve with, let's recap the wording. And in his brain, which is as dry as blank, Steve says Bob's scrotum.
sorry.
He apologizes. Bob says a nun's happy place. Bob probably apologizes too. Molly said malt whiskey evaporated byeth the sun.
No apologies.
And Nate says thy mother's wine cellar.
I cheat on
1,000
tests.
points for no apologies.
Yep.
Molly.
Nice.
Yes.
All right. And our last one.
Oh my God, okay.
What's the answer? Where's it actually
Oh,
from?
the answer is, the real wording is, and in his brain, which is as dry as the remainder biscuit after voyage.
Triscuit, biscuit, you were so close last time, Nate.
Triscuits, yeah,
Hard
from
tap.
earlier.
Too
I
bad that
used
was on the
Triscuit
last one.
too early.
Triscuit, by the
Yeah.
way, electric biscuit. That's where it got its name from.
What?
Interesting.
Electric
Triscuit was a
biscuit?
biscuit made with electricity, so it was a portmanteau. Steve.
What?
Oh, Steve,
Yeah,
do you know
I
what
love
portmanteaus are?
didn't go to college.
I'm working on it.
Your last one is, you have such a February face, so full of blank. And we'll start with Bob.
You have such a February's face so full of yellow snow.
All right. Let's see, Molly, what do you got?
Oh, you have such a February face, so full of disdain and slow time. Myth.
Great. Nate, what do you got?
You have such a February face, so full of good looks, but not quite yet fully a month. I don't know.
All right, and Steve.
You have such a February face, so full of discarded chocolate wrappings and dead flower petals.
Oh.
That's what the doctor said to my mom when I was born.
Okay.
Oh,
That was supposed to be
Okay,
about
so
me.
your recap here is you have such a February face, so full of blank. Bob said yellow snow. Molly disdain and slow time F. Nate, good looks but not quite fully a month. And Steve says discarded chocolate wrappings and discarded flower petals.
Petals.
Casey, how would you like to score this one?
Ooh, 500 points to Nate.
500 points to Nate. Great. The
After this, you have to tell me what I meant.
Yeah.
the actual wording, and this I kind of forgot to mention the place these are all from. This is from Much Ado About Nothing. You have such a February face, so full of frost, of storm, and cloudiness.
Oh.
William Shakespeare, wordsmith and master insult, thrower outer. If
he was definitely a cunning linguist. So that completely changed our point spread. Right now, In last place, we have Randy with
Go
1,500
figure.
points.
Poor Randy. That's how it always goes.
In first
The person who
place,
does
we
the
have a
game.
three-way tie
What?
between
no
Steve,
No.
Molly,
You doth
and
say.
Nate.
No, sir.
And that will change because our next game is technically correct. Now, I will read a description of a movie that is technically correct. Our faculty will try to answer in as fast as possible, and Casey will award points for the one that she likes best. Our first movie: a reporter and his roommate fight illegal aliens. A reporter and his roommate fight illegal aliens. Randy, what do you have?
We come in peace.
We
I come in peace.
in peace. Steve.
I'm going to say Spider-Man Homecoming.
Spider-Man Homecoming. And Molly.
War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds. Nate.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Planes, trains, and so a reporter and his roommate fight illegal aliens. We have Randy with We Come in Peace, Steve with Spider-Man Homecoming, Molly with War of the Worlds, and Nate with Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Casey, how would you like to score?
Oy, 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 I don't even know. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with 100 points to Steve because that's a good movie.
True.
All right. And of course, the correct answer was Steve was actually the closest. The correct answer was a reporter and his roommate fight illegal aliens describes Venom.
Yes.
There you go. Pretty
All
close,
right.
actually.
Very close. Yeah, I was impressed. Movie number 2. An elderly man forgets his best friend.
What?
Oh.
An elderly man forgets his best friend. Nate, what do you have?
Grumpy old men.
Grumpy old men. Randy.
Old Yeller.
Oh, too soon.
I was
Old
totally
Yeller.
going in that direction. That's so funny.
Steve.
Oh, this is sad, but up.
Up. And Molly.
Scrooged.
Scrooge. So an
Yeah,
elderly man
actually.
forgets his best friend. We have Nate with Grumpy Old Men, Randy with Old Yeller,
about
Steve
that
with
one.
Up, Molly with Scrooged. How would you like to score?
Oy, oy, oy. I'm gonna go with 100 points to Randy.
100 points for Randy. The correct answer of an old man, an elderly man who forgets his best friend, describes Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
Wow, we going superhero
Oh,
thing?
yeah.
All right.
Movie number 3, An Evening Affair with Counting Issues.
What?
An evening affair with counting issues. Molly, what do you have?
Oh, come on! An evening affair with counting issues. Something with numbers, counting, something that happened in the night. I don't freaking know, dude. Pet Cemetery.
So to give you some background, every time she goes and does something like that with the talking and the talking and the talking, she mostly gets it right. Nate, what do you have? An evening affair with counting issues.
The movie starts out with an evening affair, and he's an accountant. So I'm going to go Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank. Finally, another Shawshank.
We did it.
Season
Randy,
2.
good night, folks. No.
The show's done.
Randy, An Evening Affair with Counting Issue describes what movie?
I'm going to say True Lies.
True Lies. And finally, Steve, what do you have?
Dracula.
Dracula. So An Evening Affair with Counting
Count.
Issues. We have Pet Cemetery for Molly, Shawshank Redemption for Nate, True Lies for Randy, and Dracula for Steve. Casey, how would you like
I
to
was
score?
hoping someone would say something about a vampire, so I'm going with 100 points to Steve.
Steve, taking
100
it.
points for
Just
Steve.
taking
Now,
it.
what movie does that describe? An Evening Affair with Counting Issue obviously describes Clue.
Yep.
Yep.
Counting issue.
How many bullets were fired?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Finally, movie number 4, a fly breaks a bone and leads to a cub's success.
Wait, say that again.
What?
A fly breaks a bone and leads to a cub's success.
Oh.
Steve, I'm sorry. What's your answer?
A League of Their Own.
You
League
son of a
of
gun.
Their
I was going to
Own.
say the same thing.
And Molly, what do you have?
Well, I was going to say that. Did you not just hear
So
me?
you're going with a League of Their Own?
No, I'm not. Of course not. I'm going to go with Nightmare on Elm Street. Doesn't he turn into a fly or something?
Nightmare on Elm Street. Nate, what do you have?
The movie with the kid where he gets the super fast hand and he throws it really fast and he goes into the sports arena and wins. The one that's
Ophelia.
called Ophelia.
Ophelia.
It's Ophelia.
Something. Okay. So Ophelia,
Ophelia.
which is obviously the translated title for Rookie of the Year. And Randy.
I'm gonna go with the Bad News Bears.
Bad News Bears. All right, so a fly breaks a bone and leads to a Cubs success. We have Steve with a League of Their Own, Molly with A Nightmare on Elm Street, Nate with Ophelia / Rookie of the Year, and Randy with the Bad News Bears.
500
Casey, how would you like to
points
score?
Nate, because
100?
500.
500.
500 to Nate, because that description of Rookie of the Year was just par. It was great.
And it was also correct.
Yeah.
If you remember the movie, the kid breaks his arm catching a fly ball and becomes a Chicago Cubs.
Get
Briefly.
out of town. Well done, Nate.
I
Yeah.
knew the movie. I pulled them all and I couldn't remember the
You
name.
pulled a Molly and you did
I
it.
don't know.
So we're done.
Aw,
points.
man.
So, Casey, I want to thank you for being the visiting professor tonight on Balderdash Academy. What is new and exciting for you coming up?
Well, we just finished that Julio Torres project, the Untitled movie. So I'm just interviewing for other positions and seeing what comes up. Just, that's about it.
Great place to be, yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
good. So, yeah.
So keep an eye out for Killers of the Flower Moon coming to theaters and Apple TV Plus soon. Very soon. They should be making the announcement within the month or so, at least based on the trades. So before we reveal our winner, here's today's moral. Now, after listening to Casey and her description of what's no doubt an amazing film, after listening to the very well thought answers of the faculty, well done, one thing is evidently clear. No matter how hard we try, we will never be as good as at insults as the Bard. Doesn't mean we
Bard.
won't stop trying, though. You guys want to know who won?
F.
All right. So today's points we have in last place, Randy with 1,600 points. Next, we have Molly with 2,000. So here we go. Is it Steve or is it Nate? It was a very close game. Steve has 2,200, meaning our winner for tonight is Nate with 2,500 points. Getting
He's back,
Rookie
baby.
of the Year pushed him over for the win.
I don't think you got it, but that's how the game works.
Ophelia, obviously one of my
really
favorite
close.
baseball movies. Thank you for visiting us at Balderdash Academy. I've been your headmaster, Bob LeBlanc. Joining me has been our faculty, Professor of Performing Arts, Randy Hunt.
I bid you adieu.
Professor of English Language Arts, Molly McGill.
I've done Doth Lost.
coach of the Balderdash Academy Dashers, Steve Corning.
We'll get them next time.
We will. And our professor of STEAM, Nate Green.
Hey, if you don't know anything about sports or baseball, Ophelia.
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 Ophelia. Casey, thank you so much for coming on our show. We had a blast. You were welcome back at any time.
Oh, thank you.
And we hope you have a happy new year. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.
2022! Let's go! Hope it doesn't suck.
Remember to like and subscribe to this video. Also, remember to support your show directly. We have ways to do that in the links in the description. We also have a school store where you can show your school pride. Again, link in the description. If you'd like to see us live, you can now book us for a show at your location. The details are online, whether you want improv comedy, game show events, or a live quiz show. We're here to help you out. And like I said, links to everything is in the description. Thank you for watching. Have a good night. Go Dashers! Go Dashers!